What disgusts the 16 personalities? ESTPs. Passivity. ESTPs are not just about action, they attack life. It's not that they insist that others also adopt their fighting spirit, but that paralyzing passivity, to them, is akin to giving up on life, and that is just unacceptable. ISTPs. Dishonesty. No one likes being lied to, but for ISTPs, this aversion is coded into their makeup. They don't just want the truth, they want the truth concisely and clearly expressed. Maximum clarity, minimal BS. Slippery political operators who wield words in weaselly ways will be incisively sliced into oblivion by ISTPs. INFJ. Apathy. INFJs struggle to switch their empathy off. In fact, they can't. It runs deep and means that their mind is always ticking over and calculating people's reactions to things. This hypersensitivity they have makes them even more disapproving of people who act recklessly when other people's feelings are involved. There is something unnerving to them about people who simply don't care. ENFJ. Self-centeredness. People with this trait receive a certain level of disgust from ENFJs, but are also quite dangerous for them. They can end up in dynamics where such people are like black holes of energy and effort. ENFJs often think of other people first, out of instinct. If everyone gave at least some consideration to other people when moving through life, all would be well. But some people game the system, and it bothers them. ISFJ. Disloyalty. ISFJs treat their bonds as sacred. They are people for whom giving their word truly means something. When people are fickle with promises, absent-minded with commitments, and, worst of all, untrustworthy and disloyal, it's a deal breaker. ENTJ. Excuses. Sometimes in life, things go wrong and it isn't your fault. So much is out of our control. But if an ENTJ senses that you're making unnecessary excuses, that is going to be very off-putting to them indeed. They believe people should be accountable and take charge of their own lives. ISFPs. Condescension. ISFPs have a non-conformist, anti-authority streak. They often orient themselves away from situations where they have to encounter those things if they can help it. However, when someone speaks from a position of presumed authority or superiority, be that to them or someone else, it really drives them nuts. ISFPs are quite non-hierarchical, not putting anyone below or above themselves, but instead meeting people at their level. ESFP. Repression. ESFPs are often full-throttled in their outlook and actions. They want to experience life, to devour it, to smash up against it and be carried along by it. When they encounter people who hold back in significant ways, it's kind of mystifying to them. To think that someone is leaving life itself on the table is crazy. For ESFPs, everything is on the table, including them dancing. ENFP. Intolerance. ENFPs, in this area, as in many areas of their life, are paradoxical, being both holders of firm principles, yet utterly embracing of people with all kinds of views as well. To them, the greatest sin is to rule people out and dismiss them. ENFPs are egalitarian. To them, the elite, downtrodden, mainstream, and misfits are all entwined together in the same cosmic play. It's just a question of whether it's a comedy or a tragedy. INFP. Conformity. The primacy of the individual is something that INFPs cherish and advocate for. Any sense of subjugation, be that by people, ideologies, or societal structures, will be met with unwavering resistance. When someone willingly opts into that, to enter into the herd-like hive mind, INFPs will not be amused. ISTJ. Incompetence. ISTJs are people who often believe in the dignity of work, hard work. When someone doesn't do their due diligence and figure out what's needed to get the job done and done well, it seriously bothers them. They are of the opinion that people, for want of a better phrase, should do their duty. ESTJ. Laziness. I still maintain that ESTJs are probably the most active of all the types. They are forever on the go, on the move, beating a path through obstacles and getting things done. To them, a lack of work ethic is unforgivable. And, if you're working with them, or for them, it is something that will incur their wrath. ENTPs. Predictability. ENTPs are strange creatures who, somehow, kind of enjoy uncertainty. They are spectacular simulators of future scenarios, to the point where not much shocks them or surprises them. Therefore, when something comes out of the blue, catches them off guard, and pulls the rug from under them a bit, it's kind of a thrill. If an environment, or even worse, a person, is predictable to them, they will feel lifeless and seriously put off. INTP. Ignorance. IDPs don't turn their eyes away from uncomfortable and even brutal truths. They are paradoxically people who live in their heads but really want to see reality as it is. When someone is ignorant, it's annoying to them. When someone cultivates their own ignorance as a way to avoid facing things, they lose respect for them. ESFJs, introverts. Just kidding. Bridge burning. ESFJs are deeply relational. They like to entwine their relationships with their life. There is great wisdom in this. It helps them stay in touch with people and therefore cultivate healthy relationships and strengthen and solidify bonds. When someone pulls away out of the blue or simply disregards relationships and burns them to the ground, ESFJs definitely struggle to respect it. IDJ, dependence. This is both something that they want to avoid for themselves at all costs, but also really dislike seeing in other people as well. Even in deep and strong relationships they have, they still see those as a union of individuals coming together, and not one entity into which people subsume their independence. If you often watch the videos on this channel and haven't yet subscribed, I am thoroughly disgusted. Once you've rectified that oversight, then join me and some other very questionable characters on the Love Who Discord server. The link for that is down below.